Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the movie reviews for Jacka Films. Anyways, now today we'll be doing Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Well, let's just get into it. This is probably, between this one and Goblet are probably my favorite ones. I kind of like mix between the two because I think this one is actually a really good movie, and it's not just a good Harry Potter movie, it's actually a good movie overall. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. It had a lot of dark elements. There were even some scary moments that kind of sends chills down your spine. You're like, ooh, anyway. But yeah, let's just say what the movie's about. It's literally about Harry going back to Hogwarts for his third year. There is this criminal, like a killer out on the loose that escaped from Azkaban. Let's just say this killer has a personal connection to Harry Potter. There's a lot of mystery behind it all, and it's definitely a very, very, very good one. I barely enjoyed this one. It was amazing. Let's be honest. We also have to say about how Michael Gambon is now Dumbledore. I think that Michael Gambon is a good Dumbledore. He really is. I think, he has a darker tone for his version of Dumbledore, and I think he does a pretty good job at it. I think that this movie had some good tones involved. You had your series, you had your lighthearted, and some really interesting plot twists in this movie that, if you never read the book, you just watch the movie and you're like, oh, that's a good twist. Or, ugh, that is a good twist, but, ugh. Long story short, this movie had great score by John Williams, which sadly this was his last film that he did. I mean, don't get me wrong, the score for the rest of the Harry Potter films is amazing. They really are really good. They really are. But deep down, you can't help but love John Williams. He is just like, he's amazing. But yeah, look, you have great characters, great new ones too, and just even some credible lines that me being a movie nerd, or even a Harry Potter nerd, I guess, or fan, whatever you want to call it, yeah, I kind of quote now and then. But nah, this movie was just an amazing feat. The cinematography is amazing. It looks good. I think this might be the best looking Harry Potter movie. Like, don't get me wrong, the other Harry Potter movies do look good, but something about this one just feels different to what you might see in other Harry Potter films. Because let's face it, the other Harry Potter movies, just the lighting, especially the title, because I don't know if you noticed it, but each Harry Potter movie, the title kind of gets darker, because, each movie gets, darker. But this one, I don't know, it felt kind of gothic. Kind of like something like Tim Burton would do. You have a feeling of dread when you see this movie. You're like, in a lot of the choices that were made in this movie. I think this, I can't really give, I can only give so much high praise for this, but this movie is really top dollar. Like, but I know there's so many people out there who have better wordings for this, but probably can describe it better than I can. But I just, deep in my heart, I guess, I just feel like this movie is just an amazing piece of filmmaking. So that's all I can really say for the non-spoiler stuff. But yeah, it's amazing. Just want to say, before I go to the spoilers, just high praise for the director Alfonso Cuarón. You only did one Harry Potter movie, and it is widely regarded as the best Harry Potter movie, so good job. Alright, let's get to the spoilers! The beginning of this movie, like, Harry was literally doing magic outside of school. Sure, like, the muggles weren't looking, they didn't see it, he was doing it under the covers, but come on! He was doing Lumus Maxima! It's a bright light! People are gonna be like, what the heck is happening in the Dursley's house? Like, what is this bright light? Am I dead? Am I seeing a bright light? Like, what the heck? Seriously? And then the next thing, which by the way is an amazing scene. I love Harry like blows up Aunt Marge. That was hilarious. Amazing effects, and it was definitely, as I said, hilarious. But just, I don't know, just very interesting and amazing to look at. I feel like it definitely looked, let's just say, quite exquisite. But yeah, I really think this movie was a interesting kind of movie. I guess. Anyways, point is though, once, you know, Harry meets up with the Minister of Magic, Cornelius Fudge, it's just like, you know, we don't go out, you know, sending students to Azkaban for blowing up their hearts. Look, I get why he did it, because, you know, the whole Sirius Black thing, I guess, but I don't know, just kind of considering what he tries to do in the fifth one, it's just like Cornelius Fudge is some weird, condescending person, let's face it. Yeah, anyways, but nah, the night bus was amazing. I just like the, I'm not late at 12 o'clock, which, by the way, when you really think about it, that was Harry's first kiss. Not Cho Chang, but the night bus. And guess what? That's not all. He even kisses a second time. So, all you people out there who says that, oh, you know, Cho Chang, that was his first kiss. No, it wasn't. It was the night bus. Alright? Enough said. The Trunken Head is amazing. Lenny Henry, you're amazing. Stan Shunpike, the conductor on the night bus, I mean, he was great in this one, but I'm surprised I never brought him back for, like, I can't remember, I think it was the Half-Blood Prince he was in the book, but I really think he was such a pinnacle part in the book, because he became a Death Eater, you know. I feel like that would have been interesting to see a bit more of him, but, you know, if they continued that in the movies, but oh well. The point is, though, it was great for what we saw of him, but, you know, just a shame that we didn't see more of him. What a shame. Let's get the cat out of the bag, alright? If you remember from my first review, I said that about Peter Pettigrew on Ron's crotch. And I'm like, they had that really awkward silence. Yeah. Well, I just go look back at that scene when Molly Weasley was holding Scabbers, saying, "Run! Run! Don't lose him!" Little did she know, Scabbers is a fully grown man! Gross! It is such a weird thing. I get it. He was the real bad guy. Sirius Black was innocent. I get it, but it was so weird. It's so weird that he was literally Ron's crotch. He was in his area, and it's just, so weird. It's just gross. Anyways, but going to back on track, I guess. I really loved the Dementor scene, on the train. Just like, I just remember seeing it. It was on, I can't remember what DVD it was. Because I don't think I saw Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban at that point, but I just remember there was a DVD. You know how when you put a DVD on, they might have some previews before the main menu pops up. Like, they had Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and they had that shot of the Dementor, like, putting his little claws on the train door, whatever, and it's just like, or for the carriage. The same goes for that actual scene in the movie. It just, that whole sequence just kind of gives you chills. There's literally no word of dialogue. It's just, you have the music, you have the atmosphere. It just felt so eerie. And then the moon's like, and like Harry's like, and yeah, and Remus Lupin, being a badass as he is, just like was like, when he wakes up in the carriage, he's like, yeah, it was amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed that sequence. It's honestly one of the best moments of Harry Potter as a whole. I mean, it's not my favourite moment, but it's, I would probably put it at least maybe my top 5. It is amazing. But yeah, that scene still gives me chills. And also, Remus Lupin, just add some more things about him, he gave him chocolate. He's amazing. Come on, chocolate. It's like the way he puts it out there. It's like medicine. I was like, dude, you're honestly the best defense against the dark arts teacher. So you're a werewolf, and then you had to leave. But because no one ever lost 1 year or something like that as a defense against the dark arts teacher. Somehow they always leave. But as I said in my non-spoiler one, Michael Gambon, he did amazing. He had that low commanding voice, and one thing I really like about Michael Gambon's Dumbledore, and just more in this one, like not so much in the other ones, but just mainly this one, he is so damn sassy. I love it. And I just love at the ending when they went back in time and then tried to fix up everything, Harry and Hermione. And then I just love when Harry and Hermione was like, oh, we did it, it's done. And he's free or something like that. And then Dumbledore's like, did what? Good night. I'm like, you're great, I love you. but I just, he has so much sass in this movie, it's hilarious. Since Harry Potter is very magical, I really love Buckbeak's flight. It just felt so magical. It honestly felt something out of like a Disney movie. It just felt so peaceful, magical, as I said before, but it just felt honestly beautiful to watch. The score was just amazing, when Harry was just whoa! 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 Love it. And then obviously Draco had to be like, oh, you're not dangerous at all, you great ugly brute. Malfoy. It's killing me! It's like, don't worry, Draco, it's just a scratch. It's like, Harry, he has to be taken to a hospital. Oh, I'm a teacher, I will do it. It's just like, oh, you big ugly chicken. Even though Draco, as much as I love Draco, that was such a douchey move, man. Yeah, it's really sad that what happens afterwards because of Draco being very incompetent, but you still can't help but love his antics. Talk about funny stuff. The Boggart sequence, it was definitely amusing and just had a lot of fun factor and definitely entertaining. I need to put something out there. You need permission by parent or adult guardian to go to Honeydukes, which by the way is just like lollies and chocolates and yada 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 kind of thing. But you don't need permission to do Quidditch. Which by the way, the Quidditch sequence in this one, it's like lightning, thunder, raining, like there are people got caught on fire. Well, I mean not the person, but just the broom went on fire, but it was so dangerous. Harry nearly died if it wasn't for Dumbledore saying, Alasto Memento. Which, by the way, I mentioned it about in my first movie review about, Madame Hooch. She could have done that to Neville, but she didn't. Anyways. But yeah, I never understood that, but, unless there was, a written permission thing that we never saw, maybe it might have happened off screen, but it's just weird. It just doesn't. Yeah. Yeah. One of the best Snape moments that is in this movie. I'm not even going to explain it. Just going to say these one sentence. Turn to page 394. Great scene. Snowball scene when Harry was throwing snowballs while he was in the invisibility cloak. Which, by the way, as much as I love that sequence, how can he throw the snowball without him, I don't know, not being seen? Because he would have had to have his, hand out, but you never saw a hand being thrown. So I don't know how that works, but still, it was a fun scene, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's definitely one of my favourite Harry Potter moments. As I said earlier, the ending sequence was definitely interesting. Like, it honestly felt like it had multiple endings. Like, Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Like, it just kept going on and on, but maybe not. It wasn't, like, on and on for Prisoner of Azkaban, but, when there was like one ending you thought might have been the ending, but really it wasn't, because there's another ending. But the whole confrontation between, Lupin, Sirius, and, Snape, and even Harry and Hermione and Ron, that whole sequence, it was honestly kind of like, felt very random. It just like it honestly felt like something out of like a drama kind of show that, just people just randomly appear and like, oh my gosh, it is kind of hilarious. But, it is a fun sequence. But one thing I really want to say is the Marauders map. That's a very interesting kind of looking map, and I really did enjoy what the Marauders map could have in store. Thoroughly enjoyed it. The whole sequence about trying to save Buckbeak, which was really sad because of Draco. Anyways, but no, the whole sequence was a very interesting and intense ride. I really, really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I just love the whole sequence trying to save Buckbeak from about to get executed. But I really want to point out, though, is that when they went back in time to save Buckbeak, Harry and Hermione, because Ron was injured during that whole previous sequence, I just felt like that whole sequence, there was something about it that felt off. Because you technically saw that scene already, but this is just another point of view. But the point is, though, is that when you really think about it, in the first time you saw the scene, when, Hermione became very defensive, saying about Crookshanks eating Scabbers, and so on and so forth, she was very defensive, and, and then when she said the words, "I meant me," all of a sudden the stone hit, like the vase or whatever it was, and then it hit Harry. But the thing is, though, in that sequence when Hermione and Harry were behind the pumpkins, they were like, Hermione was like, "Why aren't we leaving?" That whole sequence, if you could just hear it, if you really pay attention, you can hear Hermione say, "I meant me," but it was like a couple seconds, maybe 5 seconds, maybe if that. Hermione realized, oh right, I have to throw the stone, kind of thing. But the thing is, in the other timeline, I guess, is that it hit almost immediately as she said, "I met me," but in the one that you saw Hermione actually throw the stone, there was a bit of a pause after she said, "I met me." So, I don't know if it's like a paradox or something's gone wrong with the time. I really don't know. Point is, though, I'm looking too much into it. But anyways, still the whole sequence when Harry was saving his past self and Sirius from the Dementors kind of thing, that was such an awesome sequence, when he's like, "Expecto Patronum!" It was amazing. It was such a powerful sequence, and the score was just uplifting and amazing. Long story short, this movie was amazing, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. There's a lot of great Draco moments, like Draco getting punched by Hermione. That was hilarious. Yeah. And the fact that Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban ended with a freeze frame, I shall do that. So, thank you, and tune in next time for Goblet of Fire. See ya. Ah!